Georgian?
Yes.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Kolami. I'm Rabbi Brent Gutmann here in the sanctuary with Josh Eichenhorn, and we have also Gersh Bloomstein helping us out. Some new tech people coming in, so it's wonderful to have you, Gersh. Welcome. And we'll just start with a nice, quiet melody here. After a week that had Earth Day in it, it seemed appropriate. Adamaj V'Shamayim is words to start with. Again, this anthem of environmentalism for modern Israel. Adama v'shamayim, chom ha'esh lilamayim, ani margish sod begufi, beruchi v'nishmati. Adama v'shamayim, chom ha'esh lilamayim, ani margish sod begufi, Beruchi v'nishmati. Hey ya, 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 ho. Hey ya, 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 ho. Hey ya, 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 ho. Hey ya, 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 ho. Hey ya, 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 ho. Hey ya, hey. Body, in my spirit, in my soul. You know, thinking about Earth Day and thinking about nature and thinking about the fact that it's almost summer, the spring is here, certainly in bloom. I'm thinking back to that idea of rebirth, that idea of life that comes after the long, hard winter. This was certainly a hard winter, a difficult winter for so many of us. And that idea that this spring brings new life, new creation, the beginning of our year with the spring, with Pesach, and now the Omer, brings us back to that first moment of creation when we were created and placed in the Garden of Eden, Gan Eden l'shomra u'la'avda, to guard it and to serve it. To serve it, to work it, to be mindful of it. And that teaches us that we're actually one with our planet, that we are actually part of creation. We're not something separate from creation. We are part of it. And we give thanks for our physicality every morning, that when we wake up, we're given new life, that a new spirit is breathed into us, that any of our aches and pains we hope should be healed and rested overnight, and so we have a bit of new energy for our new day. We say, blessed is God, Baruch atah Adonai hamachzir shechinato, the one that returns God's presence to us, that heals us. We continue with Elohai, a blessing for our souls. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, Shenatata bi tehora hi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, Shenatata bi tehora hi. Ata verata, ata yitzata, Ata nefachta bi, ve'ata mishamra b'kirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehora. want to take a moment to welcome everyone who is with us out on Zoom, out on Facebook, out on YouTube. It's wonderful to have you join us for this nice little quick, sweet service. We're going to be about 30 minutes here in the sanctuary, so you'll hopefully get to go out, and it'll be a little bit warmer than it has been in the last few days. Enjoy some of that sunshine, maybe go for a walk or, I don't know, a bike ride or something good for the soul, something good for the spirit. And right now we're going to do things that are good for ourselves as human beings, bring the completeness of Torah into our lives. We say a blessing, Baruch ata Adonai, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed is the one who brings Torah into our lives and causes us to busy ourselves with it, making its words sweet in our mouths so that we have this moment of prayer together. We'll continue with a reading for this new day that we celebrate, a reading for creation, Asher Yatzar. You are praised who rolls out the rough, raw clay of the universe into delicate vessels of light. And from nothing at all, we could perceive in a world that has turned old, a shimmering new creation right before our eyes, made this moment just for us. How much of life reveals your presence, how much Torah unfolds from each new flower, from each new wave that breaks upon the sea. You are praised who forms from the clay that cloaks our lives the delicate vessels which contain our light. Baruch ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. We continue closing our eyes, covering our eyes, taking some deep breaths maybe, feeling that life coming through us as we affirm what is real and what is valuable and treasured in our world with words of Shema. Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malechuto, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavcha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'belechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yedecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. If people fall, can they not also rise? If they break away, can they not return? The stork in the sky knows when to migrate. The dove and the swallow know the season of return. What human instinct knows the time to turn back? What cue sparks the conscience of the soul? We pray to sense this new day attuned to the call of sacred living. We continue with Micha Mocha. For those of you that have books, it is in the Mishkan Tefillah, page 122. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh noratilot, o sefele, o sefele. Shira chadesha shevlechu geulim, l'shimcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu v'himlechu, v'hameru. Adonai imloch leolam ba'ed. Adonai imloch leolam ba'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. We rise in body or in spirit as we continue with Rock of Israel, Tzur Yisrael. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufdechenu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzavot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch ata Adonai, Ga Yisrael. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agi teilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Anura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Golalim Nebnehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol HaTarav Lehoshia, Mashiva Ruach Umorid HaGashem. Slicha. Morid hatal, mechakel chaim bechesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al givurot, umido melech, melech memit, umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua v'nemanat alehachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh v'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We pause for a moment of quiet prayer and reflection. ratzon im refi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai suri vegoali Adonai suri vegoali May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Yehu leratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegoali Adonai tzuri vegoali Shabbat Shalom once again, everyone. It is a really nice week for Torah, a really nice week to be able to learn together and study the portion. We have a double portion today, Parashat Achremot Kiddoshim, and then next week is Emor. And I was telling the group that were with me a little bit earlier for Torah study that there's a nice mnemonic device that helps us remember the order of these Torah portions in this section of Leviticus. And it's in the translation, the meaning of the names of the portions. Achrei mot, after death. Kiddoshim, holiness, sacredness. Emor, speaks. And I was thinking about that statement in the context of our lived experience, making it relevant to our lives today, that we've spent so much of this past year and month, I guess a little bit over a year yet, worried about this pandemic and thinking in particular about all of those souls that have been lost as a result of the virus. Not only the virus, though. I think those that have been taken from us as we saw the Derek Chauvin trial this week for George Floyd, that there's so many souls, many more that have been taken from us this past year. But one of the things that we try to do in our faith, we have the idea that when we remember someone who's no longer with us physically, we say this all the time as we approach the words of Kaddish, when we have someone who is no longer with us physically, their words can still continue to resonate with us. Their presence can continue to be with us. And for all those who are imagining and thinking of loved ones in this moment, that they continue to be there and speak even following their death, that there is sacredness and holiness, and remembering that a part of who they were in our lives has become a part of us, and they are always with us. In that same sense, this central text here from chapter 19 of Leviticus, Kiddoshim, Am Kiddoshim to you, that we should be a holy people, Ki Adonai Elohechem Ani Kadosh, that Adonai, our God, is holy. And so, thinking about those ways that we live our lives, trying to align ourselves with the spirit, the force of the universe, being able to connect with that pervading current that comes through life, and tapping into that sacredness, that really that's the purpose which all of us and our ancestors that came before us were placed onto this earth. And so we have the opportunity through our lives to bring sacredness, just as God is sacred. We want to be able to identify that goodness in that hope of causing it to come out in life. And so we'll have a few verses here from Kiddushim, from this very important portion to appreciate. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, dahaber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, v'amarta alehem Kiddushim to you, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. Ish imo ve'aviv tira'u ve'et shabtotai tishmoru ani Adonai Elohechem. Al tifnu el ha-Elohim ve'lohei masecha lo ta'asu lachem ani Adonai Elohechem. And you shall, God spoke to Moses saying, speak to all of the Adat, all of the assembled tribes of the children of Israel, and speak to them. Kiddushim to you, you shall be holy, for I, the eternal your God, am holy. A man shall revere his mother and his father, and shall keep my Sabbaths, for I am the eternal your God. Do not turn aside towards the other gods and make gods of molten images, for I, the eternal, am your God. There's so much depth there that we could really explore, but I really have a goal of getting you to enjoy some of this weather. At least that's my goal for myself. So I will not linger on this except to say that these words of sacredness and holiness and the ways that we keep alive the memories of all of those individuals, not only this past year, but that have been a part of our lives and continue to be with us, a presence to us, bringing us blessing, that we hang on to them. And similarly, drawing on the strength and the nearness of Torah right now, we offer our most intimate prayers. In this case, we are going to be offering a prayer for healing in connection to how much healing has been needed in our world in these recent weeks, days, months, year, and to be able to offer that. So I will share thoughts of healing for Suzanne Levin. It looks like there's a prayer for healing there, and we offer our hopes of healing to you, to everyone who is here with us this morning, to all those suffering from crises of health, crises of sustenance, crises of emotional turmoil, that they are given refuah shlema, full and complete healing. And we, as we engage in these words, I know I'm in this room here with my wonderful helpers, Gersh and Josh, but I know that I can hear all of you as well in this Zoomiverse, often your own homes, watching on your own screens. And so as we focus our attention on this prayer for healing, we create one great prayer. And we hope that that prayer that we create together has the power to bring that healing that is so much needed to our world. Excuse me, I lost my strap here. Okay, here we go, ready. Mishe berach avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habraha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Short, sweet little service here as we're already moving on into our concluding sections. We continue with the Aleinu, rising once again in body or spirit. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lated gedula leotzeher breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot adama, shelo samchalkenu kahem vegor aleinu lechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim beyoser haaretz, umoshe bikaro b'shamayim imal, ushchinatu zo begov meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, emen malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv betorato, bi'ratahayom be'ashavota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim imal, ve'al haaretz mitachat ein od. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom mahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Our thoughts turn to all of those individuals once again that we spoke about previously, those who have been a part of our lives, have walked the halls of our sanctuary, our family, friends of members of our congregation, and sadly are no longer with us in life. We think of them, we think of all those who brought goodness, blessing, charity, love, justice into our world of all races and of all nations as we prepare to recite these words in memory. As a congregation, we are marking the Shiva of Mark Allen Sabelski, the brother of Stephen and Shelley Sabelski, and we offer them our condolences on their loss. We further note that we're in a shloshim for Catherine Snyder, our member who passed away last week in Florida, and our hearts to all of her family as well. We mark the art sets of the following individuals this week as we read their names: Isabel N. Boardman, Stuart Bricker, Edward Clawens, Tilly Cohen, Anita Crone, Harold Glick, Mitchell Hefter, Martin Latin, Robert Reese, Nathan Rosker, Rivola Rowe, Harriet Saul, Estelle Schadenfels, Sheldon Schwartz, Nathan H. Siegel, Estelle Silverman, and Lydia Vishenson. Are there others from Facebook or Zoom that we should check briefly to make sure? Okay. I think that was Misha Baruch for Lauren and Ellen, if I know who's Jill's talking about. So for all those mentioned and the many more that go unmentioned, we pray, Zikronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing, as once again we rise in spirit or in body to share words of comfort and consolation, words of Kaddish with each other. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach Yeruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, Bechayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabba mevorach leolam ulome almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yit'ale v'yithalal Shmei dekudasha barichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechmata, Damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, ve'el kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May God bring peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, all those among Israel and all those who dwell on earth. It is a pleasure, an honor to bring in our co-president, Jim Stegman, to share announcements with us. Shabbat Shalom, Jim. Welcome.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. All right. Okay. Anyway. Do we have an echo here?
Jim, you're getting the feedback because your Zoom is on. You need to mute your Zoom microphone.
Yeah. That didn't work.
Uh-oh. All right, we may have missed him. He was there on screen. Shkoch to you, Jim, for coming to be here. We know that it's not easy to do services like this in this weird world, but we appreciate you being with us here this morning. It was nice having you in Torah study. I'll take care of the announcements unless I see your picture pop up here again. It looks like, or maybe it's just did your phone fall or something? Because I still see Mike coming in. There he is. It's on again. Okay, go ahead, Jim. Share the announcement.
Okay. Tepakolami currently offers regular Shabbat services on Shabbat Live, YouTube, Zoom, and Friday evening at 6 p.m. On the third Friday of every month, services are at 7:30 p.m. Our Saturday morning services will continue at 11:15 following Torah study. TKA Sisterhood presents another Shmooze Hour on Zoom on Monday, April 26th at 8 p.m. Join Sisterhood and chat with your sisters. RSVP to Sharon Trosh to get the Zoom link. Join us on May 10th at 12 noon when Rabbi Gutmann will offer a casual new monthly class called Jews in the News, where we will discuss current events and trends from and about the Jewish world. RSVP to the office to obtain the Zoom link. We share Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom links for all TKA programs in our weekly emails, but you can always reach out to us at the office via email or just drop a message in the chat and someone no doubt will be there to offer support. We are delighted by all of you who have joined us this morning. Temple Colony is always looking for ways to grow and strengthen our community. If you are not already, we hope you will consider becoming a member of our congregation. We welcome your interests and questions, as well as your contributions to helping our little temple with a big voice. We are Temple Colony, the voice of my people.
So now I get to say Yishkoach for real here to Jim that we figured that out. Here's an example, trying to give respect. I think I said George Floyd earlier. Of course, it's Derek Floyd. So mistaked his name earlier, and especially considering the circumstances, that's not a mistake that I want to demonstrate, so I'll correct myself. And talk about the idea that for our closing song, we have this anthem by Rabbi Menachem Creditor, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, that we believe very much in the Reformed Jewish tradition, in tzedek, in justice, and in tikkun olam, in trying to repair our world. And so each of us has a role to play in making our world a world filled with tzedek, with justice, and a world that is whole, that is shalem, and filled with shalom, filled with peace. You can hear the connection in those words. Here we're talking about a world filled with compassion, chesed, olam chesed. Olam chesed yibaneh, yelalai, 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 olam chesed yibaneh, yelalai, 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 olam chesed yibaneh, yelalai, 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 olam chesed yibaneh, yelalai, yelalai, yelalai. I will build this world from love. Yelalai, yelalai, yelalai. You must build this world from love. Yelalai, yelalai, yelalai. And if we build this world from love, yelalai, 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 then God will build this world from love. Yelalai, yelalai, yelalai. Olam chesed yibaneh, 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 yelalai, yelalai, yelalai. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Set a new standard, celebrate, and I'll sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I will be strong.